Chiang Mai Re-opening, the battle of the holiday destinations, and the army's going to spend locally. That's all coming up in Good Morning Thailand on the Thaiger. Hello and welcome to a bright and sunny Monday morning. I'm Jay. This is Tim, and you're watching Good Morning Thailand on the Thaiger.
Hi everybody, hi Jay, good weekend?
Good weekend, it was a great weekend. It didn't rain, it was nice and sunny, good weather to go out and about.
And it's sunny again today.
It is, and we're at the BYD Loft.
BYD Lofts for the rest of this week. Then next week we're up in Bangkok.
That's right.
We're going to be madly packing up on Friday and putting things in boxes, and we have no idea if it's going to get there to Bangkok by Monday, so anything could happen.
Yeah, this is officially our last week in Phuket. We've moved out of the studio. We're now at BYD Lofts, and then the next time you'll see us next week, we're going to be in our Bangkok office and our new studio.
With our new presenter.
That's right.
Now we are at the BYD Lofts in front of this apparently alluring vase. 46 apartments at BYD Lofts in a very nice little street in Patong. They've got a special deal by if you book at their website bydlofts.com and you put the promotional code of the Thaiger, you'll get an additional 10% discount on your very cheap price, and they'll pick you up at the airport. I looked.
That's neat.
They've got a couple of very swish-looking Mercedes to pick you up.
They do.
So they're doing okay.
Right.
I think they had a 50% occupancy, they said the other day. So it's good to see them getting out, doing some promotion, getting people to stay here. It's an SHA Plus hotel. And you can see from the images that really nice place to stay if you're heading back to Phuket and you wish to stay in Patong at the moment.
That's right. So that's promo code the Thaiger at checkout at bydloft.com. Right, Tim.
Couple of bits of housekeeping.
Okay.
Can I squeeze these in? We promised we're going to do talk about a poll.
Okay.
And the poll, the question was that YouTube was blocking all anti-vaccine content. Did you think this was a good idea or not? We're going to discuss that in
Thaiger Bites.
Thaiger Bites.
Yeah.
The other thing, very sadly, we have to report today is that we've lost one of our Thaiger team. In the very early days, Thaiger was just a radio station in the island of Phuket. We had Phuket's 102.75 FM. Our afternoon announcer was Jerry Mitchell, whose real name was Shane Magnier. Jerry, or Shane, sadly passed away on Friday at a hospice facility in Ireland. He'd returned there about 2 years ago after spending, some 2 decades or so in Phuket. He was first at Phuket Island Radio 91.5, then did a stint in, I think, Spain, then came back to Phuket and worked at the Thaiger for 2 years. So sad to report his passing.
Right. Rest in peace, Shane. All right, Tim, let's get on with the show today. We have a couple of topics that we want to talk about. A lot of news happened. Firstly, the Pandora Papers.
Oh, now this is going to be the big international story for the next few days.
Right.
A few years ago, there were the Panama Papers.
Yes.
The Pandora Papers, of course, suggesting the opening of Pandora's box. Mm-hmm. Anything could happen. This is nearly 12 million documents that have been leaked to International Journalist Association, and it includes the information and details about some 100 billionaires, 35 world leaders, including current and former presidents, prime ministers and heads of states, and their dealings and their spendings and where they've put their money. Mm-hmm. And some of the things they've been spending. Now, I did, of course, have a quick scan through to see if there was any talk about anybody in Thailand. And sad to report, I don't have any gossip. None of the Thai leaders or heads of state appear to be mentioned.
Right, so that is the Pandora Papers.
I think there's more to come out on that one, so watch this space!
Watch this space, and you can always find the most updated information on thethaiger.com. Now, before we go to a break, let's just quickly talk about this new tax or fee, I'm guessing that they're
Levy.
Levy, is that what they call it?
Well, you can call it whatever you like, it's a tax.
Yes, so basically...
Can you hear the grinder in the background there?
Work must go on.
I think it's a plane. Yeah, maybe it's a cat. I don't know.
A cat. Hopefully not. It's a strange cat. Anyways, so there will be a time in the very near future, I believe in a couple of months, where when tourists arriving to Thailand will have to pay a 500 baht. And what are they calling this tax?
Tourism Transformation Fund.
Wow.
So they're suggesting they're going to be using the money to make more sustainable tourism, move away from mass tourism. They're using all the right words and they're saying all the right things. But I don't know where this money is going. There's no talk about how it's going to be collected. Like, do you land at the airport and they put their hand out and you pay 500 baht? Or where does the money go? There is already a 700 baht tourism departure tax.
Okay.
So that's added to your departure ticket. If you're leaving or departing a Thai airport heading overseas, you may not know it, but there's already a hidden 700 baht tax in that departure fee, the airfare. So this additional 500 baht means that the Thai government's collecting an additional 1,200 baht from you. They're talking about introducing this next year, next January, and they can hide it under the name of the Tourism Transformation Fund. But the question is, how are they collecting it? Who is it being paid to? And where is the money going to go directly? So I would say that we need some more information about this, but looks like they're going to be doing it from next... That's getting really loud. They're going to be doing it from next January.
Right, so stay tuned for tourism transformation in Thailand. Your money going to a good cause? Anyways.
Well, it's going to make Thailand a better place to visit. They're going to spend it on, I don't know. Really, just reading through the article in the Bangkok Post today, there's no real talk about exactly what they're going to spend it on. The National Tourism Policy Committee already gave the nod to start the fund earlier this year. It was proposed to be 300 baht. We didn't really hear any more of it because, of course, the pandemic was here and not many people were coming anyway. But they're saying, no, next year, 500 baht, just because you want to come to Thailand.
Right. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll be talking about Chiang Mai reopening, as well as the Thai military spending locally instead of internationally. That's all coming up very shortly. And welcome back to Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay. Joining me is Tim.
Hi.
And it's now time to talk about Chiang Mai reopening. However, before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Coffee Culture, for providing us our roast and ground coffee from all across Thailand. You can just smell the freshness from these beautiful mugs that you can also purchase at coffeeculture.asia. And you can also buy your bag and flavor of coffee. Now, they have many different types of flavors and roasts available. They've got organic coffee. They've got ground coffee.
Beans?
Robusta. The types of coffee. They have Robusta, they have Arabica, they have organic, they have green coffee. And yeah, you can get them in ground or coffee beans. So find your blend of Thai coffee at www.coffeeculture.asia.
But isn't there a special deal, Jay?
That's right, they do have a special deal. Thaiger members and Thaiger viewers can now get 10% discount clicking on the link in the description. So if you click the link at checkout, there will already be a 10% Thaiger discount. So get your coffee today.
And if you get one of these ones with the little valve on the back, you can be a coffee sniffer.
Right, and someone asked,
just like me.
Yeah, someone asked, how can you sniff the coffee when you're buying it online? Well, I suggest you buy it first and then smell it, and then I don't know. That was actually a good question.
We're waiting for smell-o-vision to be introduced.
Sometimes you've just got to put a little faith into the coffee.
Just trust me. It smells.
It
really
smells
good.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So
thanks, Coffee Culture.
Right. Thank you, Coffee Culture. Okay, Chiang Mai.
Oh, a great place for coffee.
A great place for coffee. They have coffee farms all across Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai. Beautiful mountains. You can actually visit them and even stay up on the mountains in tents.
You can sniff coffee day after day.
Exactly, and if you're a domestic traveler, you can now travel to Chiang Mai. It's open, and specifically in 4 provinces currently, as per Chiang Mai Tourism Authority and the governor.
So which of those provinces? They'd all be the inner city ones, I'm assuming.
That is correct. I have let me get these names right. The Muang district.
That's the main city district.
The Mae Rim district. The Ma Tang district. And the Doi Thao district. Jet's going to kill me for this. Jet's from Chiang Mai, so he's probably aware of these districts. But yes, those are the 4 districts that have been named, the 4 pilot districts that they will start allowing domestic tourists to start coming in.
So you can go there from last Friday, from October the 1st, as a domestic visitor.
That is correct. And if you're a tourist, a foreign tourist coming in internationally, you will be available to enter Chiang Mai starting November 1st.
And that will be without quarantine?
Yes, that will be without quarantine. That's correct.
If I'm a domestic... Sorry to ask all these questions.
Yeah.
If I go to Chiang Mai now,
yes,
after October the 1st,
yes,
do I have to be vaccinated?
Yes.
And do I have to do quarantine?
So yes, if you are fully vaccinated, you can enter Chiang Mai. However, if you have been COVID positive for less than 3 months, you do have to give an antigen test and a medical certificate to prove that you are negative before entering Chiang Mai. And after November 1st, yes, you can skip the whole 14-day quarantine.
Well, Chiang Mai is one of the sort of pillars of Thai tourism, mainly because it's so different from the beaches and the islands.
Yeah.
And Bangkok, of course, it's got the hills and the villages and the what's it called? The Lana culture. So it's quite a different area and a beautiful part of Thailand. So if you've spent a lot of time in the beaches in the past,
that's right,
make sure you do get up to Chiang Mai at some stage. It's a totally different experience.
Great place to be if you like the slow life.
Like Jet. Jet's up there enjoying the slow life.
I mean, I love Chiang Mai. It just feels relaxed, you know. It just feels amazing. I love Chiang Mai as a place. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there twice.
Okay. Did you like it?
Yeah, I was very relaxed. Yeah, I went up into the hills and...
Are you telling me you don't like to relax, Tim?
Well, I used it to go to right up north to the border where I hiked up around the border areas where I didn't know if I was in Myanmar or if I was in Thailand. Very dangerous area, actually, and patrolled by a lot of the drug cartels that run the drug factories under the canopy of the rainforest up in that part of the world, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly, of course. Okay, moving on to our second topic, which is the army is going to spend their money locally.
This is an interesting one. I think you've got most of the details on this. But the army have come out, I suppose, because they've been saying, we're going to spend money on tanks and helicopters and submarines. They were announcing a lot of this whilst Thailand was in the grips of the worst of the pandemic 4, 5, 6 months ago. And now they're coming out and saying, we're going to sort of spend locally. But where are they going to buy?
The tanks are going to come from Shunburi.
Chopperin, they're going to be buying submarines from Krabi or...
Yeah.
So
no. So basically, the army has come out and said that because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the effects it's had on the country, they now realize that spending massive amounts of money to obtain weapons abroad might not be a good idea.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Who is Thailand at war with? Who are we fighting at the moment?
There's a secret war going on that you have no idea about. You must not ask questions, Sir Tim.
But, I mean, I know the army is very strong in Thailand, but I would respectfully ask, have they actually been at war to any great extent since about 200 years ago when they were fighting the Burmese, which they still haven't let them forget, by the way?
They might not be at war, but they have said that, they've been trying to maintain peace and order and, with the protests going on in Bangkok.
They were neutral during the Second World War.
Keeping people safe as per the army. That's what they have said.
So I think the thrust is that it's not so much buying... They're going to try and buy their weapons locally.
But they're not going to buy the weapons locally.
And they're going to be spending money on maintenance.
That's right. So that's how... that's what they mean when they say that they're going to try to do things locally. They're going to try to focus on maintaining the weapons so that they can use them for longer rather than having to spend to buy more weapons.
We are lucky that we've got an expert in military equipment, Jason.
Of course.
Jason, tell us about how old the Thai army tanks are and what type of tank they are. I was amazed.
50-year-old.
50-year-old tanks.
M41 Walker Bulldogs.
M41 Walker Bulldogs. Where are they manufactured?
Made in America.
Made in America. And they're probably rolled out for the Vietnam War or something.
Yeah.
Cold War.
The Cold War, even before.
I'm not going to lie, it's slightly concerning why he knows all that information.
It is slightly concerning, but he is an expert when it comes to Thai military hardware.
That's why he loves all those war films. Anyways, for the coming fiscal year, the army's budget decreased by 8 billion baht, Tim. It's currently only 97.8 billion baht. Oh no, what are they going to do?
The Thai army does spend a lot of money every year. I mean, it's got a lot of soldiers to feed. It's got a lot of bases to look after, and it's got to look after these 50-year-old tanks and buy these Chinese submarines. So I think the purchase of the second one is still going ahead.
Yes.
To be used in the Gulf of Thailand, which apparently is too shallow to use these particular submarines. Different topic for another day.
Yeah. They said that their budget has gone down more so because of maintaining everything and because of the COVID-19 pandemic, because they've had to maintain the situation. Looking at the current situation and maintaining of COVID-19 in Thailand, it's a little hard to see, but maybe there are things that we are unaware of.
One sentence caught my eye, and it was measures are also being enacted to support junior officers in order to advance their military careers as well as protect them from unfair treatment. The Thai Army is fairly well known for hazing.
Yes.
It's sort of been an ongoing problem. So, did you do military? Oh, you don't have to do military. Neither does Jason, but a lot of young Thai men.
Maybe golf?
Golf? Did you do Thai military service? Thai military service. Did you go to the army?
I
can't imagine golf in the army somehow. Golf with a gun? No. It's wrong.
He's an angel.
Yeah. So, but there is a big hazing culture, and probably, I don't know, a couple of times a year we sadly have to report on the Thaiger of the death of a young army cadet due to the hazing and the bullying that goes on. So any money that they can redirect to try to change the culture in the Thai army towards the young conscripts, I think would be a good thing.
Right. I will leave this topic with a quote from the Chief of Staff for the Army, who said that the Army has spent a year attempting to continue security, peace and order in Thailand and abroad while working to minimize damage from the continuing global pandemic and natural disasters such as the flooding that has rocked Thailand in recent weeks. So, yeah, that is what the Army has to say about their budget. And moving on to locally produced maintaining of weapons.
And by the way, we're at BYD Lofts in Patong, and you're welcome to drop in and say hello, as somebody just walked by and said hello to us then. I didn't notice who it was. We've got Robert over here who's watching us.
Yes.
Making sure we don't say anything wrong.
And he's enjoying amazing coffee from Coffee Culture.
I'm not sure if he is, but just for the sake of our sponsors.
Well, he can smell it.
He can smell it,
He
yes.
can smell it.
Yes.
Right, it's now time for a quick break. After we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about the battle of the holiday destinations.
Yes.
Phuket versus places like Bali, Goa, Langkawi. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. This is Good Morning Thailand on the Thaiger. I'm Jay. This is Tim. It's now time to talk about the battle of the holiday destinations. Tim, have a look at this graph quickly. Now, this is a graph, an image of 4 holiday destinations that are being compared to each other, specifically Phuket, Langkawi, Bali, and Goa.
Now, as far as reopening is concerned, Phuket sort of led the way with its sandbox back on July the 1st. Langkawi opened for domestic tourists only from the middle of September. Bali is delaying its reopening, and Goa is open for domestic tourists last month. Yes. So it's interesting to note here that all, except Goa, require a PCR test.
Yes.
But interestingly, the only one that requires a PCR test after arrival is Phuket.
That's right.
And also in Phuket, you've got the additional tests you have to do on the extra days, and the other locations don't have that. All have reported very low death rates, which is good to see. And as far as the vaccination of the locals on those 4 holiday destinations, sort of beach destinations, Phuket has by far got the highest rate of vaccination at 85%, all the way down to Goa, which is only at 37% as of the time of the preparation of this story. So the three of them, Phuket, Langkawi and Bali, are holiday beach destinations, islands.
Yes.
So Langkawi in the northern part of Malaysia, in the Andaman Sea, and then you've also got Bali, which is in Indonesia. So Goa is the only one that isn't actually a island destination, although it has plenty of islands.
Yes.
Tell us about Goa in 30 seconds.
Goa is a very popular holiday destination. It is in the south of Mumbai, so it's in the middle parts of India. And yeah, it's known for its beautiful beaches. It's got very nice Portuguese architecture. It's got, good food, a lot of seafood, nice
What is
vibes.
it about all these destinations that have all got Portuguese architecture?
Surprisingly, yes. Phuket does. Langkawi does, I believe.
Malacca?
Bali, not so much.
Not so much Bali,
Not
no.
so much, yes. But Goa, yes, is a very popular destination for a holiday, beach holidays in India.
So yeah, the battle of those four destinations which are sort of, I suppose, vying to get the return of those beach tourists, the people who would come to Phuket or Bali. Bali, very popular for Australians. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think there was a time, I'm not sure, well, certainly not now, but Bali was the most popular holiday beach destination for Australians. And we've got a whole state called Queensland, which is all beach destinations, but Australians found it cheaper to go overseas and fly to Indonesia and Bali.
Is it a lot closer for Australians to travel to Bali than Phuket?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's half the distance. It's probably... If you are in Darwin, which is the very north of Australia, it would only be about an hour and a half flight.
Okay.
If you fly from Melbourne to Phuket, it takes 8.5 hours.
Wow.
5 of those hours...
You're just flying over Australia.
You're flying over Australia. So Australia is a very big place.
With a lot of empty land.
A lot of nothing.
Right, okay. So those are the topics for today. Tim, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'd just like to say thank you to Coffee Culture, thank you to BYD Lofts, who they fed us this morning.
Yes, they did. Amazing breakfast again.
How was your crepe?
Very good.
Thumbs up for the crepe. How's your breakfast, Robert?
Very good.
Very good. Thumbs up from Robert.
Right.
He looks like he's ready to take on Patong again.
Okay.
He's a wild man, by the way. He got up at 6 o'clock this morning and walked along the beach.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Wow.
Hold back a bit, Robert. Take it easy.
Right. And that's all the news for today. I'd like to thank Tim for joining the show. I would like to thank Jason behind the buttons and in front of the screen. And Golf behind the scenes, sitting to my right here.
He's got his feet up on the desk.
He does.
Sipping a
Golf's
martini.
off the rails. He's been here 1 week and he's just, he's gone off the rails.
Completely. We've ruined him.
Oh my God. Right. We were afraid he wouldn't show up. And not only is he back, but he's taken over.
Yeah.
Anyways,
watch out.
Yeah. Thank you to the viewers for joining us today. We hope you have a great Monday and we hope you've had a great weekend. Look forward to the rest of the week. We'll see you tomorrow.